What was that you just ate? We just missed it, but Steve captured a moth and consumed it for breakfast. So Steve has had his breakfast. T-Rex and TK have not had their breakfast yet at 8:45 a.m. on the 11th day of the 11th month. It's Tuesday, Veterans Day, 2025. And for a couple of weeks, we were talking about the possibility of snow on Veterans Day. And it did, and it is happening. 39 degrees here, a very unstable sky. That wayward polar vortex, tropopausal polar vortex, is crossing New England as a weakening vortex now. But it had a lot of power last night when it came across northern Vermont. That's where the snow fell. This is the webcam image. Let's get right to it. From Heroes Welcome. I love this story. You ever been here? It's on an island in Lake Champlain, and it was a full-on snowstorm last night. Electricity was knocked out, 5 to 8 inches of snow around Lake Champlain, and on the east side of Lake Champlain, here are the snowfall amounts. 8 inches in St. Albans. So yeah, snowplows out at lower elevations for the first time this season in northwestern Vermont. Meanwhile, here in the Boston area, is it going to snow today? Definitely, maybe. Very unstable atmosphere. All right, let's rewind a little bit, see what happened underneath that polar vortex as it crossed the Great Lakes. The greatest amount of snow so far has been in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan off of Lake Superior, 15 inches of snow. And you had snow all the way down to the mountains of North Carolina, not lake effect, but because of the storm itself. And Beach Mountain this morning, 11 degrees in western North Carolina. I think this mountain goes up over 5,000 feet, so taller than any ski areas we have in New England, and just about to the summit of Mount Washington type elevation, where coincidentally Mount Washington is also 11 degrees. But records were set this morning. Beach Mountain, by the way, making snow. It looks like a blizzard there. And record lows were set in, I don't know, maybe 9 or 10 states across the southeastern United States. I think one of the lower ones I saw was 19 in Crossville, Tennessee, and all the way into Florida. Cold weather advisories in effect in Florida. So that's underneath the center of the high pressure system. That's where you get the cold down near the ground. And it's on the periphery where you get the cold up in the sky. With the surface analysis from this morning, after a week of bomb cyclones last week, this one is not a bomb cyclone, but it has deepened down to 984 millibars and continues to strengthen as it moves north, not east, away from New England. And it's not east because of the Greenland block. Now, we talk so much about that. This map also features a warm front there that stretches from south central Canada down to the Colorado Rockies. And on the warm sector yesterday in Montana, the wind was 50 to 60 miles an hour. And that kind of warm air is going to try and come at New England, but it's going to have a challenge because of, yes, the Greenland block, North Atlantic blocking. All right, take a breath. And let's look at some web cameras. No, let's look at what Carl had to say this morning, or listen to what Carl had to say this morning.
The 11th, a couple inches of snow last night.
Indeed.
There you go.
A couple
It's
inches of
chops, by the
snow
way, right in the,
and
background
snow.
there.
And he said it
Across
was very
14
icy
miles.
underneath.
You can
Kind of
see
went
blue
from
there.
rain to snow pretty quickly. And I think there was some freezing rain in parts of northwestern Vermont. Now, it's interesting, Carl, the same amount of snow on your deck is what was reported on the web camera. Well, not reported. I just looked at it. This morning before the sun came up, that table turns over and it dumps the snow off. That's how that works every day. So about 2.5, 3 inches of snow. That's up around 3,000 feet. So the snow is kind of underachieving so far in the mountains of northern Vermont. And what is this? Look at Jay. Same thing, just a couple of inches of snow. Tim, your 2 feet of snow forecast is in jeopardy. Yes, it is. What's going on here? It's really curious. I mentioned the wind. Okay, let's look at the regional analysis of the temperature and wind. The red numbers are wind gusts, and I'm pretty surprised that we got down to 32 degrees in Chatham on Cape Cod. Not a hard freeze, but a freeze, and it's not because of cold air and calm conditions with a clear sky. Nope, this was with wind. And remember, colder to the southeastern United States than in New England yesterday, so the cold is coming at us from the southwest. Really, it's old cold. And lack of wind, though, this is what I'm looking at here. In northern Vermont, at St. Johnsbury, it was calm this morning. And also on Mount Washington, here is the view from Wildcat. I stared at it a while because it's a streaming cam, and I couldn't believe my eyes when I heard the anemometer number from Mount Washington this morning, and no snow there. This is just some rime frost, a little ice, maybe a coating of snow at Wildcat. And then across the way at Mount Washington, we did pick up a couple inches of snow. But here is the wind this morning. It was 11 miles per hour. Less windy on Mount Washington than Cape Cod and Boston. What's going on? That is weird. And 11 degrees also, the coldest air we've had so far this season, which is not as cold as I thought it was going to be, but it's cold enough for instability. And it is going to start snowing again. So what happened there in northern Vermont, that was called a synoptic scale snow with the low pressure system going by. But now we're going to get into what we call mesoscale snow. And here is the radar of the Northeast. And you see the snow bands coming off of the lakes. And you also see some snow, not from a lake, but just instability snow and upslope getting pretty close to J Peak. It is going to start snowing here again. And I'm not backing off. Well, maybe I'll back off 2 feet, but I'm still going for more than 20 inches of snow at J. And that snow is going to be coming in during the day today. And what else did I want to mention? Oh, well, I'm standing right here. I didn't check all the rain gauges. I just happened to be standing next to mine because Steve brought me down here. Can you make it out? 0.63 overachieving. You had 0.42 yesterday. So we picked up an inch of rain. Oh, I should have checked the numbers on Cape Cod. Another round of thunderstorms came across Cape Cod yesterday. So I'm just going to lay in the 2-day rainfall amounts here. And I haven't even seen them, but I'm thinking that there are some 3-inch amounts because a 4th round of thunderstorms yesterday came through New England. 4th round in a week. Just amazing. And Cape Cod, again, getting some of the heaviest precipitation in all of New England. And those thunderstorms held together. Grumpy, our viewer here on the Maine coast, says we had 2 rounds of thunderstorms also on the coast of Maine. And I'll lay in, I haven't seen it either, the 2-day rainfall amounts there on the coast of Maine. So, boy, is this winter kicking off strong. And yeah, winter. I said winter. We're plowing snow today. Strong and amped up weather pattern. And note the tomatoes are off. I put my tomatoes out of my misery yesterday. More on that and more. Is it going to snow in Boston today? I would say that there's a first flakes of the season alert for anyone in New England that has not seen a snowflake so far this season. You may see one today all the way to Cape Cod and the islands. Let's go to the HRRR. And this is, the NAM has been so wonky. And the blue is snow, and these blue blobs moving slowly across New England mean you don't even need a lake or a mountain. It's just so unstable, buoyant, bubbling skies. And yes, snowflakes very close to Boston today, all the way down to the Cape Cod Canal, 3, 4 o'clock. And as the sun goes down, those will try and diminish, but it could be a really interesting, dramatic sunset. And you may have some of that bouncy stuff, grapple, or what you might think is hail bouncing off your windshield. So be sure and send us your videos, or post them on X and tag me. I don't know how you're supposed to send them to me. I'm going to figure that out. And anyhow, this keeps on going now till tomorrow, and this is only a 48-hour product, so not much going on tomorrow or kind of in between, but then there's going to be a warm front coming in tomorrow night, and that's going to generate more snow and lower elevation rain. It's going to be still cold enough up in the sky, but now it's not going to be so cold near the ground, and so maybe a few sprinkles here on Wednesday morning. This is now actually, this only goes out to Thursday at 1 a.m. So I meant Thursday morning. That's what I meant, Thursday morning. And as for snowfall amounts, I'm going to cover that in the big picture in a few minutes. So you want to shift gears now to the big picture. And the satellite image, I had to do this because I've never seen this before, but it's not one weather system. You still have that parade of storms across the Pacific, but in the North Atlantic, the storms are kind of slowed down. And I'm going to just kind of pan out and zoom out and pan south from Greenland to our storm that goes up and down the coast from eastern Canada all the way down to east of Florida. And then there's a couple of other weather systems crossing the equator, and you can really connect the cloud from Greenland to Chile. Talk about big picture. There's no way a system from the southern hemisphere is going to impact us. I just think that that's a dramatic display of Mother Nature's prowess. But the Pacific Ocean is really where we have to watch for the storms coming ashore, and what they're going to do as they cross the nation, because the Greenland block is doubling down on us stronger than the last one, and the models have had a really tough time figuring out what's going to happen. So should we just get right to it and use the Euro? Yes, we should. Try and get this done in less than 20 minutes. T-Rex is barking. Our storm is moving due north now, and we've got a surface low trough coming across New England, firing the upslope snow and the lake effect snow, which will come all the way into Killington. I didn't show you the camera. Killington is opening tomorrow, and only for pass holders. And then it's going to be hopefully top to bottom by the end of the week, because there's another upper level low coming at us with well, first a warm front and a cold front tomorrow night, and then another upper level low. See the 522 coming at us out of Canada on Friday, and that now generates behind it a new batch of not as cold, but cold enough for snow guns, air coming at us on Saturday. Now there's a storm that's coming across Canada, and that's trying to pull the warm to hot air all the way up into the Great Lakes states. But we have a high pressure system coming in from southeastern Canada, keeping us with a wind from the north with the blue lines here. At the same time, the wind is from the south over Ohio and Indiana with the red lines, and you have a front, and we're going to have to slow it down again here on Saturday night rather. The freezing rain is coming in to New England. This is now the Euro. I went back to the Euro because of its consistency, and that is a wall of warmth coming at the low-level cold, and this is now, I'm going to stop it at 10 a.m. on Sunday, and look at freezing rain. It's raining, but it's cold near the ground after a cold night, and we could have a significant period of icing and snow north with a 988 low over Watertown, New York. And this is back to what the guidance was kind of suggesting from about 5 days ago. A lot of times you'll see good signals on day 10, but then it fades, and then you start seeing it come back on day 5, which is where we are now. So this is a serious battle zone. And the Canadian is not that different. The GFS is not that different. The GFS totally lost that crazy storm it had south of New England next Monday and Tuesday. So it's just the model's having a really tough time. So much Pacific energy and so much Atlantic blocking. So let's put this back in motion now. That low is going to travel towards the east-southeast. That's because of the Greenland block. And it's going to snow in northern New England. I say that with confidence. It should or might snow in northern New England Sunday into Monday. Now we're getting into let's see, the 16th, 17th now. There's new cold coming at New England. There's a storm, powerhouse storm that will have come off the Pacific Ocean, crossing the middle of the nation. And cold in Canada is just kind of seasonal. We're not having any of this exceptional record cold anymore at this point. But we're getting now towards the third week of November. So it could be cold enough for this storm. Stop it now. This is on Thursday, the 19th, and what a storm with warm and severe weather and possible tornadoes there in the Arkansas, Texas, Louisiana area. And then you have cold, high pressure pretty much stretched out across most of Canada, including New England. Now we have a high pressure system to our north that is so different than when they go off to our south. So that incoming weather system that we get here around Friday the 20th, if this holds together and this is accurate, could be a wintry mix coming at us. And now that would be the weekend before Thanksgiving. So that's our forecast. And T-Rex has just been barking the whole time because he has to challenge me. T-Rex. All right, yesterday's weather, we were watching the sky, waiting for snowflakes to appear on the cams, and they really didn't. I'm still going to stick with, I guess I should do the snowfall. All right, it's week number 2 in a row of coast-to-coast North America snow. And we made 30 weeks in a row last year. We'll see how we do. And now Canada counts as North America. So even though it's not coast to coast in the United States, it's coast to coast in Canada. And you can see it dipping down into the Rockies, then kind of lifting up and then dipping down back into New England. And it goes out to day 10, which is what I just said, Thursday the 19th. And I'm not going to put the cursor over any specific spot, but that darker purple there in northern Vermont is more than 20 inches. And most of that, a lot of that is this week and some of that is next week. So I'm still thinking that Jay is going to end up with 20 inches of snow by the time we get to Friday. And then we're going to add on top of that again next week. So I'm not backing off that too much. All right, so that's it for the weather part. Veterans Day, our Enmore yesterday, we were watching birds and sky and raindrops, and I think I had a tanker go by, so it's some time lapse. And I'd like to thank all who served on our Veterans Day. Here's yesterday's weather today, and more. And more on our Monday, just past 11 a.m. There's a slight breeze from the north, so we've had the cold front come through. The temperature's falling out of the 50s into the 40s, and we've got a person on a tender out there in cold, gray Monday. And we've got workers down below also on the wall, but I'm not prepared for this rain yet to go and look at them. You were just snoring, Mitt. What are you dreaming about? Yep, it's that kind of day. Catnap. I want to do it too. Not quite yet though. Still raining. Kind of overachieving in the rain department this morning. I've already had close to a ½ inch. Still adding up. And hopefully it's just starting to snow in northern Vermont. Not sure yet. I don't think it is, but it's getting close. 1:15. Most of the lightning's offshore, but right over Cape Cod, another round of showers and thunderstorms. I'm gonna do a couple clicks here, put it into motion. Just amazing. The weather pattern is so amped. Word from Jim Cantori, it's snowing in the mountains of North Georgia. Meanwhile, it's raining on Mount Washington. There's some snow out here. Still moving. It's like the west end of the birds moving west, and the east end of the birds moving east. How can I make a time lapse? All 250 of them if they're moving in different directions. My camera keeps moving by itself too. Come on. Well, the birds were pretty uneventful, but just a coincidence that now we have this happening. So we get the birds and a tug and a tanker. Let's see how those birds look compared to the tanker. That's pretty funny. I hear a foghorn. I don't think that's for us here though. All right, tug and a tanker. Why not do a little close up? What else do we have to do? Actually quite a bit. Pick some tomatoes. Birds are chasing the tanker. Check it out. Birds are all taken off. They just went and landed on the breakwater over there. And someone made the decision to leave. Are they all leaving? Good teamwork. Fast, huh? All right, let's keep this going. The camera tilted makes it look like the tanker's going uphill, doesn't it? All right, let's straighten this out. Where'd the birds go? Birds went over there to the new beach. Just sitting there. And the tanker's headed for the whole gut. So we'll just play this out. This could be the end for the day. Well, no, it's too early. I'm not giving up on snow before end of the day. Oh, look at giving it the gas up there, aren't they? Lens is getting all wet now. Facing to the northeast. That's where the raindrops are coming from. Good enough. Taking the left toward the gut. Fuzzy lens. Cormorants. Putting the tomatoes out of their misery. Give this rose a chance. Give the rose a chance. That's the tomatoes. Still a few more on the vine in there. Last of the Montauk's as we turn the corner to another level of autumn. He wanted to come out in the rain. Here's that velocity azimuth display. The radar sees up in the sky, wind down near the ground from the east-northeast, but you go up just about 2,000 or 3,000 feet, the wind's from the south, and it's really ripping from the south up there, 50, 60 knots. That's up around 15,000 feet, and I can see a hole in the clouds, a little downpour, maybe the last one of the day just went by. So the low-level clouds are moving from right to left, and the upper-level clouds are moving from left to right. That's sheer. And it's sheer anticipation. Looking at the webcam in Chicago, close. Chicago, the ground is white. They had lake effect last night and this morning. And also watching the webcam up on top of Mount Mansfield, where it is still not snowing. And I don't think it's snowing. Oh, there was an avalanche on Mount Washington. The last avalanche forecast was made on May 5th. I think it was more of a slough avalanche. And what else was I looking at? Oh, I was looking at the webcams at White Face. There it is. Beach Mountain, North Carolina. There's the snow. North Carolina, 18 degrees. The snow guns are on as it's raining in the mountains of northern Vermont. Yeah, high amplitude flow. Head to North Carolina. Sure. All right, giving up on getting any snowflake video from New England. Probably had a bunch of it already in the body of the out the door this morning anyway, right? But the sky is so fascinating right now with the clouds moving in two different directions. Really fun cloud waves. So why don't we just play it out with a little one more time lapse and a piano music. And this will be it for the day right here. You put the pedal on the metal. I play the piano music and say thanks for watching. Talk to you tomorrow. Winter is back.